Hello everybody, Ninja X, the Enlightened Gamer here. Welcome back to Star Wars Knights of the Old Globe. Last time, we destroyed the Republic's illegal KotOR harvesting machine built on the Harakert Rift and found the third star map. The only planet left to explore is Korriban. Wow, I will not miss this section of this game. Ba-doom, 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 ba-doom. Seriously, this is so bad. But anyways, that aside, how have you guys been doing? You know what? How about if I ask you guys a question? You can go down to the comments and answer it if you want. Just out of curiosity, what's your favorite RPG? Is it something in the vein of Knights of the Old Republic? Or is it more of an action RPG like Fable? Maybe it's a D&D style RPG like Neverwinter Nights or Icewind Dale or Baldur's Gate. Or maybe it's a non-traditional RPG like Undertale or Pokemon. There are no wrong answers here. Just curious to kind of gauge what the what people watching this video might want to see in the future. The container is empty. Hang on a second. I want to explore the rest of this facility really quick before I leave it. Really? I went into this room? Oh, this is where I first came in from. I think. Maybe. Well, let's talk to these guys really quick.
I saw what happened on the camera, and I can't believe what you did. How could you willfully destroy the KotOR harvesting machinery? That'll set us back years. I'll have you know that when we get back to the surface, I'll have the Republic do a full inquiry into your actions. Now go back to the surface and get the Republic to send a real rescue team down for us.
Somebody's ungrateful, and also a criminal with no scientific morality. Now, don't get me wrong, stopping the Sith is important, but stealing from an indigenous people so that you can stop them is not right.
We saw what you did out there on the cameras. Destroying the machinery was the right thing to do for everyone. That creature, the giant Firaxan shark, the guardian of the KotOR or whatever it was, seems to have calmed down a lot. It may even be safe to go outside now, but we'll stay here and wait for the Republic rescue crews. Thank you for not making a huge mistake.
And thank you for being more far-sighted than your companion who obviously has no scientific morality. I'm not kidding. That's one of the most important things. You can love science, you can love lots of things, but it's very important for you to keep a sense of morality about what you're doing. Yay, we're back to the slow. Part of me almost wonders if this wouldn't be more funny if I put it into slow motion. But then the other part of me says that that would make the video obnoxiously long. Okay. Yeah, we're in the right area. And since we got rid of the guardian shark, the other Firaxians should have left. Which means I'm safe to mosey on back to the basic area, and even less is happening now. I don't even have to put my hands on the controller for this. This is... There's such a thing as a bad idea, and this is definitely it. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for realism in games, so long as it doesn't break a certain point. This is that point. And look, if we can't even look all the way up, it just looks like underneath Taurus again, but with sharks. I know technically we're probably underneath Otto City, but man, this area could have been so much cooler. Just remember how cool it was when we very first got to Manon, how Star Warsy it felt. This doesn't feel Star Warsy. This feels more like one of the bad Star Trek films, walking around down here in a pressure suit. And yes, some of the Star Trek films are definitely worse than others. Not that there aren't some gems, because there definitely are. Okay, we gotta go back into the corridor. Get back to the people now. Get back to our submersible. So we can go back to the embassy where they'll probably be kind of pissed. I mean, being honest, they're probably not going to be too happy. At least not at first. But that just goes into the grayness of morality. Sometimes somebody's doing the right thing for the wrong reason, or the wrong thing for the right reason. This was a case of the latter. They were stealing from a native people and putting their entire planet and culture in jeopardy in order to win a war. But the ends don't always justify the means. And there's usually a better way to go about things. We're back to the not slow. Yay! Actual joy. Okay, keep going. Crud. This dumb door again. You know what? I don't think there's any more enemies in this area. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna go in my skivvies so I can use force bursts of speed. Whee! This gives shrieking all new meaning. So yeah, if you're watching this, then you should go down to the bottom to the comments section and say what your favorite RPG is. I'll keep mine a secret for now.
At last, my search is over. I was beginning to fear someone else had killed you and deprived me of the pleasure you may have defeated the pathetic bounty hunter my master sent after you. But you are no match for me. I have studied at the foot of the Dark Lord himself.
I picked a really bad time to take off my armor. How did you get down here?
Those Republic subs are the only way to reach the ocean floor. Malik and Revan found a way down here long before the Rackard station was built. I acquired a ship and followed the same route Revan and my master used on their own journey. Then it was simply a matter of waiting for you to return for the star map.
You're Malik's apprentice? Can't say I'm impressed.
Words mean nothing to me, unless you wish to beg for your life. No? Then I shall try to make this both quick and painful.
Please let me put my armor back on. Thank you. Come on, Candace, I need your help. Wow, I love how none of his force powers are doing anything to me because of my saves. That is just excellent. Come on, Canderous. We can do this together. Me and you. And T3 also. There we go. Thank you, Dark Jedi, for apparently getting glitched and not wanting to fight. That made this little fight a lot easier. I bet they were supposed to attack, but, you know, I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain. Darth Bandon's fiber armor. So that was a full-on Darth. Let's just see what that armor looks like. +5, +5. Not bad armor at all. Not the best armor out there, but definitely not bad. And hopefully that's all the fights we have for now, because I don't want to sit here and wait till I heal. Huh, where'd that Twilight go? Just letting you guys know right now, there's a chance that I might miss something. And if I do and I can't go back for it, then I'm not going to hold it too hard against myself. But I'm going to do as much as I possibly can.
You've returned. I was beginning to fear that you too might have been lost. Did you find out what had happened down there at the facility?
The construction woke something up.
Something was down there? Living in the rift by the Kolto?
A giant Firaxian shark that drove all the Selkath insane.
It's horrible. The entire operation wasted by a disaster we could never in 1,000 years have foreseen. What has happened to the facility itself? Were there any survivors?
The harvesting machine was destroyed, but a few scientists have survived.
Good to know indeed. But what has happened to the facility? Was it damaged?
The harvesting machine was destroyed.
No, that is terrible. That will set our work back years. It may even cost us the war. While I am glad that you were able to solve our problems, the cost may have ended up being much too high. But you have done your job and helped us in our time of need. And for that I thank you. Oh, and did you end up finding your star map?
No, you bet.
As you
Yep.
see, by helping us, you've helped yourself. Perhaps we can work together again in the future.
Items received, items lost, experience received, credits received, journal entry added. Now we're gonna go to find the cantina so we can tell the Selkath what happened down there. Because, you know, at this point, you can't really do much more harm. And the truth will set you free. Hello. Not moving. This again? You'll never save me alive! Very well, I'll come peacefully. Understood. The truth seems less harmful than the lie, especially if they call me on it. So I'm going to go with the explosions were at the research station. Both are governments set up there. The machinery had woken up a giant Phyraxian shark. I said nothing of the sort. I said nothing. I destroyed the machinery to save it. Of course it does, because I come prepared. Fantastic! Believe it or not, there is still the sun retrial we could do here. And I've only been going for 20 minutes, so I'm considering it. But I kind of wanted to dedicate most of an episode to that. There we go. So I want to have Bastila and Jolie for this particular thing. Dang it. I said I want to have Jolie and Bastila. And Bastila gains a level. I'm okay with this contingency. Prowers give you force armor. Okay. Let's heal up Ninja real quick. Not that I think there's any real danger for Ninja.
Yes?
Now, I have a bit of a story with this particular case, because the internet will tell you that there's only one answer. But I could swear I found a different answer one time. It may be an incomplete memory, it may be a wrong memory, but I remember an answer to this trial that was different. So I'm going to talk about that story while I try and solve the case.
Sunry's being held at the Selkaf courts. They won't let anyone in to see him. Please, go to the courts. Talk to the judges. Maybe the Selkaf will listen to you.
Don't worry, Laura. We'll get to the bottom of this and help Sunry. Somehow.
Okay. Where's the courts? I might be heading in the right direction, I just want to make sure. The High Court. I would like to investigate the murder case involving Sunry.
Yes, but it almost seems too heavily stacked, doesn't it? Very suspicious.
Okay, right there, what Jolie just said. It seems too heavily stacked. What I was able to find on the very first time solving this case, well, maybe not the very first, but possibly the second, one of the first times solving this case, I'm already shooting my credibility in the foot by saying that it was a long time ago. I was able to find evidence, and again, this could be a wrong memory, this could be an incomplete memory, and it got me the same result regardless. I was able to find a lot of people think that Sunry did it because if you pressure him enough while he's in his cell, he'll say he did it. He'll admit guilt. But admitting guilt doesn't necessarily mean you are guilty. It might mean that you feel guilty about what happened, and somehow you think that you did it. Just because you say guilty doesn't mean you are guilty, beyond a shadow of a doubt. But I just tried the doors and it was locked.
When I get out
your head and bathe in your blood!
Wow.
Jolie, what are you doing here? Laura sent me, Summary. I'm here to get you out of this mess. The courts went and made us arbiters for your case. Just like old times, eh, Jolie? You come swooping in out of nowhere to save my tail from the fire? You saved my wrinkle butt more than a few times as well, friend, if I recall. But there'll be time for catching up later. Right now, we need to focus on the case. The case is a complete frame-up. Anyone looking at the evidence could see that. So I thought. But the cellcasts seem to think that there's enough to go to trial. There aren't any witnesses. All that evidence against me is circumstantial and completely flawed.
I need to investigate the case some more. Any ideas where I should look?
Guess you could interview witnesses at the hotel where the murder happened. The cellcasts already did that, but the fish folk don't have much rapport with officers. Maybe one of them was holding something back. But I think you'd be better off investigating the Sith themselves. Maybe you could find some proof they planted evidence to frame me. Though that might mean figuring out a way into the Sith embassy. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial.
Let's go over the evidence.
Well, I was at the hotel, I admit. And I did meet Alasa there that night, but it's not what you think. I was working with Republic intelligence. We were pretending to feed information to the Sith. Well, I turned Alasa into a double agent working for us. It was going well, too, until she turned up dead. Maybe the Sith had found out I was turning her and had her eliminated. But let's look at the facts they've given. Alasa was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith, trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it difficult for me to walk, even to hold things. See how my hands are shaking? How could I kill a Sith warrior at close quarters? I ask you! Further, they say they found my hero's cross at the crime scene. Would I leave my war medal behind if I killed someone? Even I'm not that stupid. Obviously the Sith planted the cross. And what about the lack of forensic evidence? Skin and hair samples, clothing fibers. Why isn't there anything like that at the crime scene? Sounds like an obvious frame-up to me. I hope you can see how the Sith are manipulating the Cellcat, and probably even you to set up this against me. We need to get this over with quickly and clear my name. Anything else I can help you with?
I'll be going now.
Very well. Once you've gotten enough evidence...
Okay. There's a lot of truth to what he's saying. But the general consensus is he did it. Because there's a lack of evidence to prove his innocence. But there's also a lack of evidence that proves his guilt. And there is evidence that could go towards his innocence. Like he said, he's old, he's crippled, he has shaky hands. And so what I discovered that one particular time, which again I admit could be a wrong memory, was that there was...
May I have a moment? I wish to speak to you about.
Yep, I figured it was only a matter of time until we had the whole come back to the order discussion. Well, I guess there's no avoiding it now, so let's get it over with.
I know you have issues with the Order, but you are a Jedi, Jolie. You command the Force. Without the guidance of the Council, how can you avoid falling to the dark side?
Well, I've managed to avoid it the last 20 years or so. Besides, light side, dark side, be the same to me as they for you. I don't see it absolutes.
So you don't have a problem with Malak or the Sith?
I want to stop Malak as much as anyone. But I don't have to join the Order to do it. Look at Karth or Canderous. They're with us in this quest, but they are Jedi. The capacity for good or evil, like the Force itself, is in all living creatures. And belonging to the Jedi Order, or the Sith, or any group, won't change what you are at your core.
I see you were quite adamant. No
doubt you've had ample time to think on this during your long seclusion. I guess it was foolish of me to think I could sway your position so easily.
Yeah, I'm old and stubborn. But I appreciate the effort. But from now on, you can just think of me as any other non-Jedi in our little group. With a lightsaber. And force powers.
Sorry, I keep on getting cut off by things, but what I was able to find, because this game doesn't even let you go to the crime scene. At least not in any of the recent times I've attempted this. I remember there was a certain dialogue thread with the hotel manager that allowed me to... Where is this place? I hate this planet's navigation. That was abrupt. But really, this is the worst planet in any game for navigating. Anyways, now that that's out of the way, I'm gonna wait for a second. Anyway, so in most of the attempts of doing this, all but I remember one, and that could be a wrong memory, I was never able to investigate the crime scene. It's pretty hard to find rock-hard evidence without even being able to go to the crime scene. And I remember the one time I was able to go to the crime scene, that there was a hole drilled in the back of the wall. The Sith knew that Sunry was turning her into a leak, and shot her through the wall. I have questions about the murder of Alasa, but that my evidence turned up that Sunry himself was trying to hide it. Because he was trying to turn her into a double agent, but that was a cover for an affair. What did you see? That was suspicious. Why were you at the hotel? What about Alasa's room? Did someone pay you to do something in that room, Glupor? Ooh. That is some evidence. Right there. Planting evidence at the scene of a murder? Maybe I will be able to solve it again for just the second time. See, that's the Sith's room, so this would be... Oh, never mind.
You with the cell, Cat? You here to see me about the murder, too? I told the damn fish everything I knew. What more do you all want from me?
What did you see the night of the murder?
I was in my room, minding my own business, with the latest copy of Pazak Weekly, checking out the listings for the big tournament that's going to be held here soon, when I heard a blaster shot. Being still alive, and therefore smart enough not to stick my head out immediately, I didn't go out right away. I looked out after a minute and saw KotOR in the hall by Lass's room, and Sunry running like the wind. You can't tell me that someone who was running like that, and he was pretty fast for a cripple, isn't guilty.
That's some pretty shady evidence. That's not very concrete. Perhaps he was running for his life. Perhaps she was shot and he was afraid he was going to be shot too. What do you know about Sunry and Alasa?
Sunry, I only heard of once or twice in passing. Some sort of old-time war hero against the Sith. Seen him around in the hotel too. Going to Alasa's room always, of course. Kept the rest of the building up half the night with their damn antics usually.
Wow. This is becoming more and more like the story I told. I really hope I can figure this out on camera. You mean Sunry was having a relationship with Alasa?
I'm not saying anything like that. What they did in that room in private is their business. And there isn't any rule against Sith and Republic seeing each other for personal reasons. Although if you think her Sith master didn't know, you must be fooling yourself.
Sith Master?
Well, Alasa was a Sith, so of course she'd have to have someone above her. Yeah, I didn't see anything.
What did you see?
I didn't see anything, and there's no way...
Maybe if I tossed in 100 credits?
100 credits isn't enough for the kind of trouble I'd be having if I told you. Sorry, you're going to have to look somewhere else.
Okay, I'll ask something else. That's it for now.
Yes, well, I'll be right here.
I might come back to this one once I have a higher persuade skill. Because that seems suspicious. And if there's a way I can prove, without a doubt, Sunry's evidence on camera, then I'll do it.
You're the one defending Sunry now, huh? Well, the hotel's open for you. And I guess I gotta answer any questions you want too. The Sith woman, Alasa, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, Sunry comes in and goes to her room. A couple hours later, I hear a blaster shot and see Sunry running. He can't run good because he's a cripple, but he still was going pretty fast. I would swear he started after the shot, though.
Of course, why would you run from a shot that hadn't happened? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure he left after the shot went off.
Could it have gone off after he left?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, just barely. But I wouldn't say that to the court.
I want to talk about something else. What do you know about Sunry and Alasa?
Alasa used to rent rooms here every week or so. Then Sunry would come by a couple hours later and stay all night. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what was going on.
I have no more questions for now.
Okay, if you need anything else, I'm gonna be right here.
Okay, we got some definitely got some damning evidence.
You, Jedi, I hear you are investigating the Sunry murder trial. This case is not at all what it appears to be. Many currents, might I say, flow beneath the surface.
What do you mean?
This murder is much more complicated than they first appear. The Sunry and Alasa are proxies for their governments, and both sides want the other to fail. You can see the journey by the footprints. You understand, yes?
Huh? No, I think so.
They both had something to do with it. They both kept their hands in this from the start. If you want to get to the bottom of this murder, you might seek information from both the Sith and the Republic, likely in their embassies.
That'll be kind of tough. At least with the Sith. They'd just give it to me?
Of course not. You think state secrets are for sale on the common market? You would have to be deep to get what you want. Heed my advice, Jedi, and you may yet find the truths in this matter.
Well, let's talk to the Republic's soldiers.
I'm sorry, I'm on duty, citizen. Please refer any questions to our diplomat. If you've got a problem, go talk to our diplomatic representative. Don't bother me.
Maybe I should have done this first.
Greetings once again. I trust you have been discreet concerning the events at Rackard Rift. Should the Selkath obtain proof of what occurred down there, the consequences for the Republic would be severe. For both our sakes, I hope you are smart enough to keep silent on this matter. Truth be told, I'm uncomfortable even with us being seen together. The rumors are already plentiful enough among the Selkath about the Republic's role in this.
I'm investigating the Sunry case.
I don't know much about the facts of the case, but I find it hard to believe. I never met Sunry, but he's a hero of the Republic, not a murderer. The so-called evidence against him is an obvious frame-up. It has to be. The Sith must have plotted Sunry's downfall to embarrass and discredit the Republic.
That's one possibility.
If you want to solve this mess, I would focus on the Sith. That or check out the murder scene at the hotel. Talk to the other guests. Maybe they know something. I regret I could not be of more assistance in your investigation. Is there anything else?
I think I'll be going now.
Then I shall wish you good day.
Okay, I'm going to come back to that at some later point because I'd really like to actually find the solution. So many people just assume because he admits, he says, I did it, that means he did it. When obviously, to me, it seems like he's covering up for an affair. Well, you wouldn't let yourself die to not be incriminated for... A lot of people would. A lot of people would. It's a difference between social suicide and physical suicide, and social suicide can be more painful. But again, I'm not going to finish this up just yet. Instead, we're going to head to the Ebon Hauk. And by that, of course, I mean we're going to pick this up next time, because I've been Ninjo X the Enlightened Gamer, and until next time, I hope you too will stay enlightened.